Hello everybody, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to go over how to utilize a top-down approach to locate high probability entries aligned with the narrative surrounding price, locating targets that are aligned with the direction of price to find those highly optimal entries. So let's create a list here using this top-down approach. We're going to begin with the 4-hour and 1 hour to find the likely direction. Then we're going to go to the 15-minute to find targets. And then we are going to go to the lower time frame for entry. So this approach is surrounding this framework right here. We can use the lower time frame for targets as well, but that will be also utilized for entries. The 50-minute will find the target for us in the direction of the higher time frame narrative. So that's what we are going to locate. So what do we have here heading into price? So what do we see? Clearly, as of lately, price has been exceedingly bullish. It has been one way. And what do we have here? Time and time again, price has been respecting bullish imbalances, disrespecting bearish imbalances, and still been showing a willingness to head higher. So we have this right here. We are going to analyze how price reacts to this 4-hour bullish imbalance as we head into that AM session. What do we see here as of late? Well, overnight, we sort of chopped around here, retraced into this bullish imbalance, and right now we are respecting it. We disrespected this bearish imbalance here, this bearish imbalance here. We've taken out lows, huge move to the upside, and we've left highs behind. We haven't taken out all the highs here. So the directional bias for me still is to the upside. Why? Because there are still objectives to the upside we can come tap into, like this one right here. Equal highs resting above. So we have equal highs resting above that do make sense and do match the current order flow with price. So as we head into the AM session here, that is a likely target for price. What else do we have here? Well, price came and failed to take this high, forming yet another set of equal highs. So now we have two sets of equal highs here. The higher time frame narrative is bullish, as you saw on the 4-hour, as you saw on the 1 hour. So we have the narrative, we have the targets, and now it's about finding the proper setup. So I'm going to remove this just to make things much clearer. And we're going to see what price does. Ideally, we manipulate some of these lows and then come for the highs. That's what I would like to see price do. Price comes, takes this low right here. We have a sweep of sell side liquidity right here. And price is tapping into a 15-minute bullish imbalance right there as well. So right now we have a sweep of sell side, manipulating the lows. 50-minute bullish imbalance being respected to this point. 4-hour bullish imbalance has been respected. 1 hour bullish imbalance and narrative is bullish. And we have equal highs resting above that we have left behind. So we are prepping for what can be a highly optimal long. Everything is met. We have those equal highs above. Now it's about finding the confirmations to find a highly probable entry. So we're analyzing how does price react off this imbalance and the sweep of sell side. There are clear highs above that we've left behind. So it makes sense to see if we get a proper entry to the upside. And this confirmation right here is exactly what you want to see. We have a 1-minute inverse fair value gap right there. Off the sweep of liquidity, off the 50-minute bullish imbalance. And we form a fair value gap as well. So you can enter off right here. We get the sweep of sell side, 50-minute bullish imbalance being respected. You get the huge move to the upside. And what do we form as well? We form an inverse gap right here, the nice reversal, and a fair value gap simultaneously aligned with equal highs resting above. And this is a highly optimal entry right here based on what we're seeing in price from the 4-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, and lower time frame. Look, there are still objectives to the upside here. We have highs all here, highs here, and the equal highs that have formed. So you would enter off the retest of this imbalance. Right there, that would be the entry. for around a 2.22 to 1 R. I'm going to go on the 5 minute just to show you what it would look like as well. We have these here, equal highs, low resistance liquidity right here, equal highs once more. So it just makes sense to look for a move to the upside following the higher time frame narrative and the liquidity. Very important, the liquidity, the objectives that are still above. As long as there's objectives that make sense, there is something to aim for, and we have something right here. So we'll target the equal highs above. See what price does to these equal highs. Not yet tapped into. Still, nonetheless, the objectives make sense, and there we go. A 2.22 to 1 R to the equal highs here, 72 points, caught a highly optimal long, finding that proper confirmation on the lower time frame, the sweep of liquidity on the 50-minute, the 50-minute bullish and bounce, the 1 hour narrative, the 4 hour narrative. Everything makes sense using this top-down approach. All right, so here's another example of how you can utilize that top-down approach to find highly likely entries. What are we seeing here on the 4 hour? Well, in all honesty, this is pretty range-bound price action. What have we noticed price has done to this point? Well, we formed a range right here, if you noticed. And what did we do here? Well, we formed a range here, took some lows here, tapped into this bullish imbalance, came and took the range high right there. Okay, so that is done right there. What else do we notice price do once more? Well, since that point, we have formed a range right here as well. We have a range here formed right now, and we're looking to see if price wants to form some sort of PO3 type of move. This is on the higher time frame, so we're noticing that this is a possibility. Also, the higher time frame narrative has been bullish to this point. We're still making a push for highs. There's still a willingness to head higher. And we have this range that has formed now, and we came and took the range low. You can even put the range right here. And we have this range low taken. So we'll go mark out here, range low. And then we have the range high above. So in a typical PO3 move, you can expect us to go from range low to range high and vice versa. Now, does that mean you need to target the range high or range low, the opposing end of the range? No. You can find targets in that direction of that higher time frame play. And I'll show you an example. So the 4 hour, we have that range, accumulation, manipulate the lows, and we can distribute to the highs. An AMD PO3 type of move. Makes complete sense. 1 hour, very choppy. We are just exactly doing what was expected. Well, what do we have here? What do you notice on the 1 hour? Well, we have equal highs right there. Hello. Equal highs right here. There is another highly likely target for price in the direction of the higher time frame move. So we have equal highs here. This PO3 type play does make sense, and we are heading into that AM session. On the 15-minute, what do we have? Well, if you look once more, we have another set of equal highs right here. So to recap, the higher time frame narrative has been bullish to this point. We have been consolidating. And then on the 4 hour, we came and took the range low, leaving several highs behind that match simultaneously the signature and price to perform that power of 3. So price forms the range, takes the range low. In a normal PO3, you expect, after manipulating the lows, to distribute to the high. And to add confluence to that, we have relative equal highs and several equal highs resting above. So it makes sense for price to move to the highs. And now it's about locating an optimal entry towards those highs and see if you can find a move to that point. So we're in the AM session here. We are approaching market open, and that is a perfect signature in price. What do we have here? We've manipulated the lows due to swing right here, sweeping sell side liquidity. After taking range low, higher time frame narrative points to the highs. We have equal highs resting above. We sweep sell side liquidity, and we have a 15-minute bullish imbalance as well. So we're looking to see, okay, we swept sell side here. We have a 15-minute bullish imbalance. Will we reject this imbalance, respect it, and start making a move to the equal highs above? That fits with this 4-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute confirmation to find the highly optimal entry. So let's go to the lower time frame. And we'll drag this here. All right, what are we seeing now in price? Let's move these equal highs here. And see, what are we seeing now in price? Well, on the 3-minute, what do we get? Sweep of sell side liquidity. And this is an amazing signature in price right here. V-shape reversal, inverse fair value gap formed right here. And this would likely be our entry. Now we do also form a fair value gap as well. So what do we have? We have a fair value gap lined up simultaneously with an inverse fair value gap. That also is a perfect signature on the lower time frame that matches the 50-minute confirmation with the sweep of sell side, 50-minute bullish imbalance being respected, the 1-hour range being formed, the 4-hour range being clear with the range low being swept. Higher time frame narrative is still bullish. There are equal highs resting above in that range stemming from that PO3 type move. And so given a retest of this entry, we would look to find a move to the equal highs. So you can target this as well. Like I said, like I mentioned, you don't have to necessarily try and find the full move from range low to range high, but you can target objectives in that direction that makes sense. So for example, these equal highs here, this is a 1.72 to 1R. There's the entry, we're in there, and we target the equal highs there. We don't have to go for these. We don't have to go for the range high. You can go and aim in that direction if it makes sense, and this makes sense. Again, with the 4-hour PO3 move formed, that range low being taken, you're getting the exact signatures and price that show a reversal, a PO3, a distribution towards the range high. On the 1-hour, you have that confirmation as well. The higher time frame narrative is still bullish. 50-minute sweep of sell side liquidity, 50-minute bullish imbalance being respected. And throughout that move to sweep the range low, we left several equal highs above. So not only does that PO3 move make sense, but we have confirmations with liquidity, generated liquidity, equal highs resting above for targets in price. And then you drop to the lower time frame after that sweep of liquidity, after that 50-minute bullish imbalance is respected, and you get a complete V-shape reversal with an inverse gap and bullish fair value gap simultaneously aligning for a highly optimal entry. And you enter there, following that top-down approach, targeting the equal highs. And just like that, you catch almost 114 points to those equal highs for a highly optimal move that forms time and time again. And so this is how you utilize that top-down approach to put yourself in the best position to succeed.